Welcome back, everybody. On deck today for review, we have a gear review. It is the extractor that you see right there and that you saw earlier in the video. Now, the advantage of this guy is that it's hard to see right now, but I will show some pictures later on and work it in that there is actually a tritium insert there. So, whereas on a traditional Glock extractor, you just go ahead and do your chamber check by feeling it. On this one, you have both the tactile response when you feel it, as well as you can actually look down at a low light situation and see that there is a round there in the chamber. Now, the big question is, do I need it? Obviously. Do I want it? And does it work? So what we're going to try to do here is really get into the last one. Does it work? And I'll let you guys decide if you need it or want it at the end of the video. I mean, that one's always up to you. I don't sell things here on the channel. You guys know that. I just tell you about them, tell you what I think of them, tell you my experience with them, and then drive on. But we'll keep putting some rounds down range with this guy and let you know what I think of it coming up next.
As you can tell, I took the extractor out of the gun. On the bottom of your screen there, what you see is the ACS extractor, and on the top what you see there is a stock 40 caliber Glock extractor. Now the biggest difference that you're going to notice is the size of the grooves there. That channel is put in there to get dirt out of there and debris, at least that's what Glock says that it's there for. There's been some discussion on that over the years at Glock forum, but we'll just go with that for now. The size of it here on the aftermarket extractor is a little bit smaller. Now the guys over at ACS said the reason for that was that they determined it wasn't needed, and just having the channel they have in there is enough to remove the debris needed. I've found so far they're absolutely right, especially with regular maintenance of your Glocks. You really shouldn't have an issue there with debris, at least in my opinion. Obviously the big difference that we need to talk about here is the tritium insert right there that you're able to identify in low light situations. Now just above that, what you see there, not sure how well it comes across there on camera, but what you see there is a date. That date is the date of the tritium insert, so that way you guys can keep track of it, because as we all know, tritium does have a shelf life. Generally it's going to dim down anywhere from 10 to 15 years down the road, and that way you know just where your insert is at in terms of its lifespan. Obviously you see on the left side that it's made in the USA, the patent number, and all that jazz that comes with it. But that's what they look like up close. You can see the angles, how they match up, and basically how they compare in terms of size. And here you see the other side of the extractor. You see there's no channel here, but there is on the factory Glock one. Of note, this is made out of 4140 steel, and it's CNC machine cut out, so you can see the a little bit of a tool marks there. Yet on the Glock one, the Glock extractors, as many of you guys know, the current ones are MIM, so that's definitely a plus for a lot of guys out there with this extractor. A lot of guys just don't feel comfortable with MIM. I have never had a problem with it, but I know a lot of guys out there have, or report that they have, so that's just another aspect to look at when considering this extractor. A couple things to point out before I go ahead and wrap it up. First off, they're only available in 40 caliber right now. Obviously that's due to the law enforcement and law enforcement agency demand out there in the United States. That is the most common caliber here in the US. So only available in 40 cal now, but there are plans to make it a 9mm in the future, so stay tuned for that one, guys. Another very important thing I always want to mention in my reviews is cost. These are relatively expensive items. The extractors are going to be available online in several different retailers. I'll go ahead and put a link to their site so you guys can check out where they're available from, but I believe basically $90 to $100 is the cost of these. If you take a look at tritium insert front sights out there, you can kind of see why they're that expensive. Whether or not it's worth it to you to be able to have that visual indication. Like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, I don't sell things here. It's not what I do, but it does work. It absolutely does give you a good indication. I'll roll in some pictures here as I'm talking of it, both loaded and unloaded. You can see it does kind of pop out at you when it is loaded, but with the Glock standard extractor you can feel it. You just don't see it in low light situations as well. So that's the big advantage of it, and obviously function. As you guys saw in the beginning of the video, and you'll see more of coming up at the end, the extraction patterns are excellent. Ejection patterns, I should say, are excellent. With this, and I ran it in both my Glock 24 that you guys saw earlier, as well as the Glock 23 that you guys see here. No issues at all, flawless operation, so nothing to complain about there. As always, guys, though, if you have any questions about this, anything else I review here on the channel, you can feel free to post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you like what you saw here, as well as in any of my other videos, feel free to like and share, and hope to see you guys in the next video.